My next RV project is installation of a GPS navigation system. I chose a Garmin RV760LMT. The LMT means lifetime maps and lifetime traffic, which is a really handy thing to do if you're going to buy one of these units, because you could spend $50 or more, I suppose, for map updates. This is kind of an RV tailored GPS, and it has thousands of RV parks listed in here, service centers that will handle RVs, and also you can put the dimensions of your RV in here, and it'll tell you if you're going into any roads where they may have too sharp of curves or too narrow of a road, or low bridges and things like that. So it will help you avoid routes where you shouldn't necessarily go. If you have a smartphone, this will also give you a weather overlay so that you can tell what the weather is in the area. It's a 7-inch screen, so it's a fairly large screen as far as GPS units go. And I'll just pull this out of the box. And this is the size of the unit. It's a pretty nice size. Also in the box is the cables and the attachment stuff. Now, one thing I don't like about RV or about any of these portable GPSs is these tend to be a little Mickey Mouse in my view. This is the adapter mount, rather, that you would normally stick up on the windshield or something like that. So what I'm going to do is, there's a company called RAM that makes some really nice heavy-duty style mounts, and this is a RAM mount specifically designed for the RV, or specifically designed for the RV760. And they make a couple different types. They make one that's fully enclosed like this one, and then they make just kind of a half one where you just set the unit on there. But the way this works is you put the unit in here, and it fits in here very nicely. And then you have a cover piece that goes over it that gives you a nice sunshade. And then 4 screws go in here in these corners, which clamps this whole unit in together. Well, then you have to buy some adapters. All these pieces, by the way, are separate. This adapter piece goes in the back here, and then you have these arms, which are several different sizes. This is a long arm, which is about 6 inches, I believe, and then you have a short arm, which is about 4 inches, or possibly 3 inches. And then you have a articulated version where it actually has 2 arms put together by a set of 2 different balls. And the way these work is you have a base plate, and I bought several different arms and several different base plates because I'm not sure exactly how I want to set this up. But I think what I'm going to do is use one of these base plates, and you simply put the arm in like this, and you clamp it down, and you can put a tremendous amount of pressure on it. And then this would be the ball that goes on the back of this unit here, and you could put this ball in like this, and you tighten that down, and then you'll have to bolt this somehow to a dash or part of the drink holder or something, wherever you want to put it. And then as you adjust these, if I can just take a little tension off, you can put them anywhere you want, so you can get almost any angle here. And then when you tighten these down, I mean, these things, I'm trying all my pressure and I can't hardly move this. So, this really makes a real nice, solid mechanism. They also have this as an option, and this would replace the standard, I guess you call this a wing screw or a wing nut. and this will replace it, and then when you lock it, you can't undo it, so it provides a little bit of security. Yeah, somebody could go in here and take the screws out and things, but it's going to take time to do, and you know, your main goal is to basically prevent somebody from just going there and snatching it. To determine where I'm going to put this, I have got this little bean bag here, basically, and I'm going to put an arm on the bean bag like this, and then I'm going to, you know, use that end to attach to my Garmin GPS unit, so it'll attach up here like that once I get that other ball on. And then I can take this unit and move it around and decide actually where I want to put it. So this will give me some idea as to what location to put the Garmin unit. I also bought a couple accessories. Here's a video input cable that can plug into the side of the Garmin. Now the Garmin can use its own brand video camera that is a wireless camera, or you can use a third-party video camera or any video source really by using this cable. Now I've not got any specific plans yet as to what I'm going to do with this, but I just decided to buy this stuff as a bundle. I also have basically an AC adapter kit so that I can charge the unit at home without having to plug it into the car. Then finally, this is called a Garmin Mechanic with EcoRoute, and essentially what it does, and I can put a little demo or a sample page on the video here. It will read the engine diagnostics connection on your vehicle, and then it's a Bluetooth connection to the Garmin unit, so the Garmin unit can display all of the engine diagnostics and so on and so forth. So this will be kind of a neat little addition as well. Okay, now to assemble this Garmin unit, you have to remove this little part here from the mount, and then on the back side you just basically attach this to the back, and then this provides the 12-volt input as well as a input for a speaker and input for the camera, which is this cable here. And then basically you fit this into here, and I hit the power button. The power button actually is still available through the back here. And then basically the next step is to put the 4 screws in. I have now got the 4 screws installed, and I also screwed this ball to the back of it. By the way, this actually says diesel, D-E-Z-L 760LM. Now this unit is made in 2 basically identical versions. There's the Garmin RV760 and the Garmin Diesel 760. They're basically the same physical size, so this will work for the RV even though it says diesel. And the diesel version is, if you haven't guessed it, is for you know, big rig tractor trailers. And it used to be that was the only version, and they had an RV version for the diesel, but now the RV has its own version. And I'm going to take the beanbag here, and basically, as I showed before, you pop this in here and then you tighten this down, and then you can set this anywhere you want. Now it is a little bit flimsy here, but that's because of the beanbag. Once I put this on a permanent mount, then this isn't going to move at all. And I'm going to use this beanbag actually out in the coach to try different locations to see how I like it best. Well, eBay sometimes is pretty cool. I found this console for a 2011 E450 Ford van for $30, and it is supposedly a new one, although it looks like it's been stored without any kind of cover on it. Now my trim is more of a tan than this. This is gray, but the part that I wanted was this top part anyway, and this top part is just kind of hot melded into here. And if I bust these off, I can take this off. So if I ever decide that the mounting configuration that I use, if I don't like it, I've got a spare top of the console that I can reuse. But for now, I'm going to use it as a mock-up. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is in the very top, there's a tray right here. It's about 5 inches, maybe 6 inches by 3, and I'm going to fill this full of epoxy, some good old West System epoxy, maybe an inch and a quarter deep. And then I'm going to take my unit and set it down in there like so and let it dry. I'm going to bring this up here a little bit so you can see a little easier. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna essentially bed this in a bed of epoxy, and that I think is going to work out for the display unit, and then that will allow me to angle it towards the driver. I can get behind. There's a few switches on the dash behind that. It allows me to still have room for our big gulps, and I think this is kind of the best compromise. I also thought about in here, which would also work, and this is basically where you would put an ashtray, which is a little cup. Now, my wife and I don't smoke, so that's not a big deal to us, but I could put it in here as well, and that may be still another possibility, and I'm going to have to do a little bit more further testing. What I can do is I've got some VHB, which if you don't know what that is, that's a 3M double-sided tape, and it's not any double-sided tape. I mean, it is some really, really strong stuff. VHB stands for very high bond, and I can, as long as I wait 24 hours after I put it in, then I can test it before I do the epoxy pour. So I could test it either here or here. The only real problem though is if I decide to change the location, I may need a jackhammer to get this stuff off because the VHB is so strong. So anyway, there's where we're at now, and the next step will basically be pouring the epoxy in the location that I've desired.